Everybody, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to today's training, which is what is your why? Having a why to back your business, having a why um, to back your life, where you want to go, where you want to be in 5, 10, 15 years. Having a why is very important because what it's actually doing is creating a focus and creating a momentum where it counts. If you are not aware of what you really want to do, where your inspiration, your motivation, your desires, your you're really, really wanting to do something. If it's not laser focused, then it's kind of like all over the board. You're kind of like on autopilot, and your boat is kind of like sloshing you to and fro within the waves, and you really are not having a pure destination. But when you stand in that captain seat and at the helm, and you're really knowing exactly what you want, that's where you're going to create momentum. That's where you're going to create focus to bring about what you desire in your business or and in your life. So what we need to do is we need to change our thinking to be proactive versus reactive. The reactive is more in that autopilot mode. Something comes in our direction and we just react. Oh my gosh, why is this here? How come this is here? And because you were not expecting something to show up, because you were not at the helm, you were not at the driver's seat, seeing that something was coming into your view. Proactive is you're behind that wheel, right? You're taking charge. You're taking control of your life. You're the one who is responsible to be in your life and making the choices that are going to come into your vision. So therefore, when something does come from the side, you can easily avoid it via steering your direction to a different direction. So we want to be proactive versus reactive. But we first need to really ask ourselves, what do we really want? And do we really want what we think we want? So there are reasons why we think we want something. So what are they? We want to make sure that we're just not going along with the school of fish of what is expected. A lot of times it's like, well, because everybody else is doing it, so I'm doing it too. I've seen this so very often in the last 5 years of a decision in society that it's going to do something particular, wear a certain hat. I mean, gosh, we do this all the time. There's fads everywhere. And all of a sudden everybody else is wearing that same hat. It's kind of funny, but they're just going along with the school fish. They're on autopilot. But only you can answer that question yourself of what do you really want? Um, and nor do we sometimes, or do we sometimes find ourselves achieving something and find out it's not exactly what we wanted. How many times have you heard the story of, a little girl basically being programmed by the mother going, oh my gosh, you look so cute to be, going to ballet school. You're such a good ballerina. And here's some beautiful ballet shoes. And here's a beautiful ballet outfit. And the little girl's excited because she's getting all this attention from mom. And knows that she's being programmed that I want to become a ballerina. But then when she becomes one, she's like, I am not happy until she realizes it wasn't me that wanted to become a ballerina. It was my mother that wanted to be a ballerina. So really, really, we need to really look into why do we want what we want and make sure that it's really ours, right? So we're going to get a little deeper into this. So why have a why? Well, everybody needs something to motivate them. I don't know about you, but I certainly do a lot of times. Such as when we work for somebody, we are being pulled into work, perhaps out of obligation. But ultimately, we have a why of already in place of why we wouldn't have sought out that job. I want this job because I want this good money. So therefore, I can put food on the table and I can have fun and go travel, whatever it may be, or just I want to make ends meet. We have a why that's pretty darn solid, or like I said, we would not have sought out that job. But however, we're in our own business and we don't have that obligation to show up and to complete that job. I mean, it's so easy you're usually working from home. And, I know when I'm working from home, my whole family's like, oh, you're just home, so you can do this, this, and this. And it's like, no. And that's a little off the topic, but the same thing goes in our minds. Like, if we're just home, well, then I can go and do the dishes and I can do all the other things and I'll put my business last maybe. Or I just, won't get around to it today. We need to have some sort of push, internal push or motivation that will make us go, no, this business is important. I know where I want to be in 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. I'm going to do this. So I need to dedicate myself. This is why we have created, which is why we need to create our own why. So what we are trying to look at here is, what is your why? Oh, I think I didn't say hello, everybody. My name is Wendy Morgan. I'm a senior presidential with LifeWave, and I'm also a personal development coach. So I'm really happy to be here with you. So dreams are consistently changing. So whenever you kind of think of your why, like for instance, when I started this business, my why was I wanted to get out of poverty, and I did within 3 years. But I wanted to get out of poverty because I realized that even it didn't feel like I lived in poverty for the past 20 some years. I realized that I looked at all the the little markers, and I was like, I have been, and I'm really done, not being able to not be concerned if something gets throws through my checking account. I always had to keep on top of it, and a lot of times I went under, and I was just sick and tired. So that was a pain. That was a pain. So usually we move and change out of our comfort zone, either a pain or pleasure. And for me, mine was pain. I didn't want to live that way anymore. And I didn't want my youngest daughter to learn that way anymore. I wanted to show her a better life. And that was my first emphasis of my first why, and my first dream is why I wanted to make, a significant amount of money with this particular company. But that really wasn't even on the surface value as my why. My under why, my what I thought was my true why was I just wanted to help people. I was in a place of pain and I felt better with this particular technology, and I wanted other people to feel better too. So that's why it's really good to ask your questions as to really figuring out, is your why really what you want to do? So here I've created an exercise for you. And what I want you to be as clear as what you think what your why is. Right now I want you to take a pen and paper, if you could please, and write down what you think your why is. So why do you want to start this business? Why do you want to move this business forward? Why do you want to receive the rank that you perhaps are looking at? Why do you want to help people? Why are you involved with LifeWave? Whatever it may be that resonates with you most, go ahead. I want you to write down, what is it you want? What do you want to achieve? Okay. Give you a few seconds there. And we're going to go through a process of questions for you to answer for yourself. So I want you to look at what you wrote, and it might say, I just want my own business, right? Okay, so that's in the Q1 area there. It says, okay, then I want you to ask yourself, why do you want it? Why do I want my own business, right? That's the question in number two. And then you're going to ask, why is that important for me to have my own business? Well, because I feel I can have my own hours and I won't be accountable to somebody else. Cool. That's your number three. Why is that important? Well, I really don't agree with all of the guidelines and or rules that are at work. I don't really care for how it's done. It's not very ethically orchestrated. So I'd rather have my own business where I can basically be the boss and actually can be my own boss. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's legit. It goes to four. Well, why is that important? Because I feel very ethically in my heart that certain things should be done a certain way, that people should be treated fairly, that I should be treated fairly and respected. And I want to provide in an environment where this will actually occur. Okay, why is that important? That's your fifth one. Because I really haven't been respected my whole life, and I want to finally just stand up for me. So there you go. That's the bottom line of why you may want a business, because you just want it to be for you because no one else can take it away. And that is the bottom. And that's something you can emotionally relate to. So let's look at another exercise. So this is another example of why do I want my own business? So the first question may be why? Well, because it will allow me to have greater control over how I spend my time. Okay, why is that? Well, I can have more flexibility in my time. Okay, so why would that be important? Well, if I'll be able to work more from home. Okay, so why is working from home more important? Well, because I'll be able to spend more time with my son or my daughter. Yeah, why is that important to spend more time with your son or daughter? Well, because supporting my family is the most important thing to me. That's the bottom. That's the bottom nugget. Again, it gets here, right? The first one, allow me to have greater, or if we start off at the top, I want to own my own business. That's kind of superficial. That's in the mind. But I want to support my family because it's the most important thing. That's in the heart. You need to find a why that is so emotional, so true to the truth of who you are, so vulnerable and raw that, you sometimes, in fact, you may actually get choked up over it, knowing that I can support my family and I can be here with them. And that just means the world to me. You know, you need to find that bottom emotional nugget because that's what's going to carry you through those hard times when you're like, I just want to sit on the couch. I'm exhausted, right? No, I'm going to get up because I'm looking at my vision board because it's not about, let's see, because push myself because no one else is going to do it for me. And that why is going to push me because no one else, I don't have a boss here anymore telling me, hey, you need to get up and do that work that I told you to do. So we need to find that emotional bottom cause. So your why is backed by your thoughts and your belief, which produce an action and an outcome. So thoughts and beliefs precede action, right? You don't do any action unless you have a thought or a belief behind it going, yeah, that's important to do. So I'm going to move forward, right? The action, however, leads to an outcome. Hypothetically, I go to open the door. Guess what? The door is going to be open. I'm going to be outside now. That's my outcome. My outcome reinforces my thoughts. I'm outside now. So my thought was, I thought it was a beautiful day. I wanted to go outside. So I therefore opened the door, went outside, and the outcome goes, yep, it is a nice day outside. That's a pretty simple example, but you get my drift. So it is like a wonderful little cycle that which we go through within our psyche. So action is a measurement of belief. So if you're not taking any action in your business and you're not taking action in meeting new people, if you're not taking action of going outside your general area or comfort zone, then you really need to work on that belief. Where is that why? Where is that heartfelt, I really want to do this, right? To change an outcome, we need to change our actions because every action is preceding a thought or belief. To change the actions, we first need to change our thoughts, thinking, or belief. Only then will we change the outcome. Makes sense. You might have to pause this right here and just reread that. So it starts here and here for you to go, okay, I'm ready to back it with some action. And then you'll have some outcome. Oh my gosh, I just made a new relationship. That's what it's all about, relationships in this business. It's not about, oh, I just made a new brand partner. Oh, I just made a new customer. No, I made a new relationship. And you'll have probably 10 relationships, right? And maybe 3 of those relationships will turn into brand partners. But the other 7 are just fantastic relationships. You just expanded your network. And maybe they know some, as they get to know you better, they're going to go share your information with other people. And that's how you're going to grow. So this is a beautiful example of how strong your why has to be in order for you to move forward, in order to give you the gumption that you need to have during those days that are going to be challenging or hard to move through. So this actually came from Kathleen Nichols. And if you are looking at the left side of the picture, if I told you I want you to walk that plank that little girl is walking, and when you walk it, I'm going to give you $20. Who wouldn't do it, right? We're all going to raise your hand. Yep, I'm in. Okay, we're going to walk that plank. Thank you for that $20 bill. Not a problem. However, if that plank was straddling between 2 high rises and you're 100 feet or more above the ground, and we say, okay, I want you to walk that plank, and on the other end is a $20 bill. I don't know too many people that would do that for $20. I certainly wouldn't, right? That's because we don't have a big enough why. There's not a big enough need for that $20 that we don't say, that's not a good trade-off for my life, right? That's just kind of a common sense thing. However, if in that other building that which is across from you is on fire and your family is screaming outside the window, your why just changed, right? Your purpose just changed. Your family, for most people, is more important than their life. And you go dang straight, they're going to walk that plank to get to their family to try to get them to safety. So there, your why just changed, and you can feel that emotion build up in your life. I don't care if it's family, you're something you love a great deal is on the other side in that other skyscraper or that high rise. You're going to get there, right? Because you feel it here, you feel it in your bones, you feel it in your body, and you're ready to move. That's how strong your why needs to be. So let's get on that plank and let's start making some steps. So once you basically have located and realized what your why really is, and I really want you to pause this back there, whatever, until you really figure out your why. Like I said, I already shared with you what my why was, and it has since changed. And that's beautiful. My why have changed to be I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to help as many people as I can help. That's been me since I've been a kid, though. So I help, brand partners, I help customers, I help people cross line. I help, people, new people coming into the company as well as far as achieving health and or wellness. I just love that feeling of helping people have a better life. So now, however, if regardless if that's my new one or if you just find one just now, we need to support that why. You need to fortify yourself with the proper tools so therefore you can accumulate and accentuate and expand and put that why in the marquee, put it on the so it has a bunch of a light shining on it. So what we first need to do is get control of our monkey mind or get control over the personal media. Now, I don't mean this personal media. I mean personal media, that talk that goes on inside your head, the talk either towards yourself, towards another, or if you have ADHD brain, my daughter, she has ADHD. She goes, Mom, she goes, you just don't understand. I have like a computer brain up there and I have like 16 windows open and I keep flipping between different windows and looking at different of them. And I get that, but it's still you who can control. Okay, I'm looking at that window, even though my brain wants to flip over here and look over this window. Stop, or look at that tab. Stop, breathe. I'm going to focus right here. I'm just going to be right here. All it is neural synapse. If you're used to neural synapsing, just flipping between one tab and another tab, you just need to calm down that neural synapses. So we need to go ahead and do things that bring us into a calm state, bring us into a more focused state. If you want some help with that, I have a good friend that's part of LifeWave that she's a brain coach, and she actually helps it really good too. So if you want to just reach out to me, Wendy Morgan, on Telegram or on Facebook, and I can go and give you her number. But what we want to do is support that monkey mind, and ways that we go ahead and calm that down, or having that the ADHD tabs that are open. One is meditation. Now, a lot of people go, "Oh, I've tried meditation and I just can't do it. It's just so yeah," because you're used to open up all the tabs. So go on to YouTube and pick up 6 phase meditation. That's just one that's popping off the top of my head. And that is a guided meditation. Any guided meditation will help, especially if you have a monkey mind, because that keeps you busy focusing on specific things. Another one is journaling, getting your thoughts out onto paper. Self-awareness books, self-awareness podcasts, self-awareness trainings and teachings. I've done several in the past. Just basically becoming self-aware. When you say to your thought, oh God, that was so stupid, stop and go, okay, I see that I just said that. I know that was not me actually saying me, the spiritual me, right? Because I'm witnessing it. So therefore, let's try to go ahead and change that. And we change that by in the ways of you take 3 things and you say 3 things in the same thing that are positive to yourself. No, I am very intelligent and I just wasn't taking my time to seeing what I needed to see. I am really good as far as dedicating my time in my life, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. And so just give yourself, 3 things, preferably on the same topic. If not, that can be very general. Choose how you should say respond. There's a difference between responding and reacting. So reacting is like just from your gut instinct, you're having emotions, triggers within you, and you're just reacting to it. And that usually again means you're on autopilot. Responding means I'm not on autopilot. I'm in my consciousness. I'm in my conscious creator. I'm in my co-creator mode. And when somebody says something that triggers me, that's my trigger for me to deal with, not their problem. That's my problem, right? And I'm going to respond, which means calmly speaking words that will bring about the conversation in a direction that is much more suitable. That's a nice response. Another one is using the affirmation or prayer. So we're going to talk about, writing little affirmations on notes here in a little bit. Prayer is another one, getting into that alignment, connecting with your divinity. Offline activities. Shut down that computer, put that phone down, walk outside, go for a walk, be with nature, go do some gardening, go outside, get some sunshine, breathe some deep breaths. Those are offline activities. breathing exercise, what I just got through saying, or talking to someone that will actually listen, where they just be a soundboard. Sometimes some of us just need somebody to hear us out. And just by hearing us speak to them makes us see the wisdom and we understand where we're coming from. And they're like, oh my God, I figured it out. Thank you so much. So that is also very helpful. So, second thing of how we support our why is stop self-sabotaging. So it's kind of like I went to it a little bit before, we say, oh my gosh, that was so stupid. I should have thought that. Really work on those voices, really work on calming those self-degrading voices within your head. I guarantee you 100% those voices are not you. Those voices are programmed from your past, either from your mother, your father, some family member, a peer, a sister, a brother, teacher, anything, something in your past or even in your present, a spouse that is saying those and has programmed you with those words. So really work on, no, this is not me. See it like backing away. So you're observing it. You're observing your own thoughts and look at it and go, okay, no, I love myself. I'm a good person. I've got a good heart and I try and I work really hard. I don't use the word try. Try means you already failed. I work really hard at this. So really work on turning that verbiage around and turning that vibration around. Now, if you have ADHD brains, oh dear Lord, ADHD brains, and we've got more ADHD people who are ADHD these days than ever before because ADHD is brought about by stress, whether that's mental stress, emotional stress, physical stress. You got to think about 5G, that's physical stress. Whichever way you want to look at it. Right now, we're being bombarded with that physical, mental, emotional stress from everywhere across the board. So more people are turning on the ADHD or MTHFR gene. And the ADHD brain is almost like a candida brain. It tells you what it wants or doesn't want to do. And again, that's just you calming down, going into your prayer, going into your meditation, and relaxing and go, it's okay, we've got it. Because your ADHD brain's going, no, I don't want to. I do not want to go ahead and do work today. You can't make me. You can't force me. I'm an adult, so I get to do what I want to do. And I get that. I've had those days actually. I can kind of relate that completely. And that's the days when you go, okay, I'm going to give you just about 10 minutes. What's something you want to do for 10 minutes? Actually, the best thing to do is do something that changes your energy. Go outside, go for a walk, take a bath, take a nap, eat food that's high in nutrition, like a freshly juice where you juice a whole bunch of things together, high nutrition. Any of those things will change your vibration and you might be able to get another breather to go, okay, let's go at this again. And again, though, if you have your why, you can remember your why and that you chose to do this activity to reach your goal and your why you want to reach this goal. So that's another good reason, right? Why you have a why that's really heartfelt. I want to reach and touch and change a lot of people's lives. There's a lot of people out there that are broken, and I want to help them find their way to be whole once again. And so, okay, they're more important to me. So I'm going to stand in here and I'm going to, do my job. Another excuse that might come across your mind, I don't really have the time. Well, remember the pain of your why. My previous why, well, I might not have the time. Really, what other time you've got going? You don't really have much going on. Well, I might have to take care of the grandkids and I have to watch my son shop and I have to do this and I have to, help my husband and no, those are obligations that you spoke up to that you said you would do. You're putting them first before you. If you really want a business, you've got to put you and your business first. So that means I'm sorry, I've dedicated this time between here and here. Oh, I'm sorry, my husband, I can't help you because that's my work time. No, I'm sorry, it cannot change. It is where it's at. I've got to do this. This is my time. This is for me. And they should respect that. And same thing for anything else. Watching the grandkids, I can't that time, but I can after my work time. I can help you out there. Second thing is you might get too distracted. That's very, very easy to do, especially if you have ADHD. So therefore, that's why you make an office where you can close the door, you can control the sounds, you can shut off the phones, and you can really focus. So set yourself up with positive habits that will support your business. So another way that which we could support our why, kind of like alluded to this moments ago, is daily activities. So dedicate each time each day to make the progress in your business. Marcy has Monday and Tuesday, certain hours set aside, like a study hall. We just show up, And with everybody, we step into that momentum. That's really cool about that particular time. It's like you're joining everybody else's energy that's doing the exact same thing. And just like going to a gym. Have you ever tried working out at home by yourself? Does it work? Normally, we don't do it very often. But if we join a gym and everybody else is working out, we feed off of their energy and we end up working out pretty easily. It's the same thing with the study hall. We actually work with, when we enjoy that same energy and we get our business and our work done really well as well. So during that time, we can reach out, we can follow up, we can invite to a webinar and or video, we can get brand partners, customers trained and or plugged in. And that time is spent at any specific time. Now, even though Marcy has set aside, just an hour, 2 days a week, I suggest that you answer this question, which is, how badly do you want this business? Scale to between 1 and 40. And I want you to write this down right now. Between 1 and 40, how badly do you want this business? 40 being, yes, I want it. I want to be FPD as of like next month, or 6 months from now or whatever. I'm just really want this really, really bad. That's a 40. And 1 being, not really. I mean, this is cool. It's a nice product. I feel better on it. But okay, now you have that number written down. That's how many hours per week I want you to work on scheduling in, dedicate your time to this practice of fulfilling your why through building this business. If you really want to do it, you've got to do it really, really well. Okay. There's most of the people that have been here, including myself, that have gone to FBD, fairly quickly, and I mean quick, like with under 3 years. They have followed the outline that Marcy has done, daily, religiously, reach out to 3 people, make new 3 relationship, 3 or more. I was actually doing 20 to 50 a day. Follow up with 3 or more people a day, invite 3 or more people a day to podcast, send them a recording of a testimony, bring them on a patching party. And meanwhile, you're following it. So you're going to end up doing more than 3 a day. But if you do that religiously with those hours that you just stated, you will be successful. At first, it's going to feel like you're crawling and you don't have the results that you want to see. Don't worry. When you go to the gym and you start working out, do you see results even within the first month? No. You're lucky if you see results within the first 3 months because your body is starting to regulate this new activity. And that's what's going on in the brain. You're making new neural synapses. For the physical body, when you work out, you're working muscles, you're tearing muscles, you're making more mitochondria, which is making more energy, which is making more weight because your muscle weighs more than fat. And then all of a sudden, at some point, what's it called? Not the breaking point, but I know a couple of you are thinking it, but I'm not thinking it. Anyways, that point where all of a sudden the body goes, oh, I need to pull from fat to go ahead and feed my muscles. And all of a sudden the fat starts to go down and you see the weight start to drop and you see the arms starting to shape up real nicely. Same thing goes on in the brain with your business. As the brain synapse or the neural synapse start to connect new neural connections, we're starting to break away from old bad habits, bring in new good habits, making new neural connections. After 21 days, that becomes a good habit. And we're going to talk more about habits in a future episode. But nevertheless, now after about, a month, you're seeing this is easier. I get it. I'm in the flow. I know what I'm doing. I'm feeling a little more confident. I'm connecting with my upline to go ahead and get people onto educational calls. People are signing up. I'm seeing this moving. This is pretty interesting. And it'll really start to get a movement going after about, 3 to 6 months, depending on how much time you put into it and how much you're actually creating new neural synapses, which basically creates new energy in your body, and you start attracting new people. Okay, so another reason how you can support your why. Well, you can support your why with create some affirmations and or vision boards. So affirmations are really simple. I'm making my goals today. I'm connecting with 3 people daily. I would suggest actually you sit down, you write down affirmations that when you read them, you feel pumped up about it, and put them on some stick-it notes and put those sticky notes in your bathroom, on your refrigerator door, on your pantry door, on your computer, wherever you're basically likely to see it most often, stick them there. And the thing is, even though you take the moments here right now to figure out some good affirmations that really inspire you and like, yeah, that I get that. Okay, when I see it, I'm going to move, right? but they're no good unless you read them. You can stick them all you want. And as you walk into the kitchen, you say, oh, those are pretty little squares. They're no good unless you go ahead and read them. So you have to read them daily, several times a day. Now, vision boards, I will have a recording on this. I know this is basically being recorded on March 6th. By March 7th, I'm actually going to create a whole vision board training. So that will be on Evolve's training, and you can check that out on, as well. But to let you also know that 80 to 85% of our perception, learning, cognition, and memory are recorded through sight. So that is so very important to us and to our memory. So it's good to have things visual. That's why a vision board is so important. And so is your affirmations. All right, guys. So I'd like for you to start today. Start today to make a choice, to take a chance, to make a change in your life. Your business, your life, whatever it is that you're striving for is only going to move as fast as you push yourself. After a while, you'll no longer have to push yourself. You'll be rolling down that hill on your own momentum, kicking back with your feet up, your face in the sun, and listening to waves at your feet. So don't let your future frighten you. Fortify yourself with the tools that you need to find your why, stick to your why, find that emotional charge in your why, and then fortify it with the tools to keep you motivated, to keep you moving. So thank you so much. I hope you found this webinar useful and helpful. And if you need any help, I'm always here to help any one of you. I love you all. Take care and have yourself a good night. Bye-bye.